Green Lantern New Guardians number 18, written by Tony Bedard, art by Hendry Passetio, Jim Calafiore, and Javier Pulido. So this is the next part of the Wrath of the First Lantern, and we're just going after the rest of the New Guardians. So we open up in Tehran, where Carol and Hal are both flying jets, and they're being chased down by some weird stingray looking drone thing, and Hal's like, oh geez, I don't know what these things are, oh get him off my tail. And Carol flies in, shoots him down, just like, what are you doing getting out of formation, Hal? Get back there. And we see them arrive back on a aircraft carrier, and they start shouting at each other like, oh yeah, no, this is great, Jordan, you almost got blown up out there if I hadn't jumped in. And Hal's like, oh, I had it handled, blah, blah, blah. And some of the other crew are watching on, and they're like, those guys are so into each other. There is no doubt about that. And we see that as Carol storms away, this is all, of course, part of the First Lantern just saying like, oh, see, I changed a moment in your past where you had to give up being a pilot in order to run your father's company and save it from bankruptcy. But in doing so, your father's company did go bankrupt, and they were bought out by Leviathan Defense Systems, which is where you're now employed in. So he's like, yep, all right. Anyway, I'm going to check back in with you. I want to go see how I'm working over on Larfleeze. And we see Larfleeze has been given back his family, and it's apparently his son's birthday. And he's passing a gift over to the son, and the son's like, oh, thanks, Daddy. But then Larfleeze refuses to let go of it. And he's like, I'm sorry, son, but this is mine. And he just pulls it back. And First Lantern's like, are you kidding me, man? Like, I gave you your family back, and you're still this greedy dick? Why? This is like the 100th thing I've tried. What is going to get you to stop being such a miserable piece of crap? You know what? All right, let's try something else. Let's do something else now. And then we cut over to Saint Walker, who apparently is not a Blue Lantern anymore, but is a Green Lantern for his sector. And he flies back to his home planet, and his family and his people are still alive. And he's just like, oh, everything's fantastic, and I love being in Green Lantern Corps. And then Ganthet shows up, going to Saint Walker. He's like, hey, Saint Walker, we got a big problem, and I came to get you personally because we need you to go take care of something else in your sector. And he's like, okay, why didn't you just call me on the phone? He's like, nah, I was in the area. Come on, let's go. And so he says goodbye to his, or at least he starts to say goodbye to his family. But then he's pulled away by Ganthet super quick. And as we see, all the other Guardians are in space around the planet, along with the Third Army. And this is just, hey, what if Third Army, but there was no Blue Lantern Corps? So back in Carol's dream, apparently they've got some mission from command. They're going to go target some missile base nearby. And Hal chimes up like, what happens if those stingrays show up again? And she starts laying into him like, well, I'm sure that we'll be able to handle it. Don't know about you, Jordan. And they start, arguing, bickering, whatever. And then all of a sudden sirens start going off. They're being attacked. And it turns out that it is Atlanteans. The Atlantis is attacking this aircraft carrier, and they managed to somehow put it all together that the Leviathan defense systems that they were bought out by have also been, it's basically all Atlantis the whole way down. And that's why Iran also had Atlantis tech. That's what the drones were. They've been like double dealing to take down the surface world. So Carol says, okay, here's what's going to happen. You create a diversion. I'm going to get in a plane and get airborne, and then I'm going to take them out. And Hal's like, their systems aren't going to let them fire on their own tech. And it's like, yeah, that's why I'm just going to crash into them. So we cut back to Saint Walker, and he's being pulled away by Ganthet. And he's like, okay, we need you to go over to this planet on the way far distant side of your sector. And he's like, I'm going to be gone for months if that's the case. I'm going back to say a proper goodbye to my family if I'm going that far. And he's like, nope, too much, too busy. He's like, no, nothing's too busy for family. So he goes back down to his planet, and he sees the Third Army is just destroying his people. And he's like, what in the? I was gone for 2 minutes. And hey, these things kind of seem like the Guardians. Uh-oh. So he sees his family being torn apart by the Third Army, being absorbed into them. And we see First Lantern behind him, like, yes, you were so happy, and now you're in such despair. This is delicious. And St. Walker, he gets pissed off. And he's like, no, I won't lose you. I refuse. And he says he's going to heal them and all will be well. And as he says all will be well, he transforms into a Blue Lantern and manages to heal his family. And First Lantern's like, okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. I admit I underestimated you. That's my bad. Though it did give me an idea. And so he goes to Larfleeze and gives him a life where he was a Blue Lantern instead of a orange one, because of something that happened way back in the old days where Hal Jordan was apparently a Blue Lantern at the time. And he's like, okay, see? So now you're more balanced and you don't have the Orange Lantern making you greedy anymore, right, Larfleeze? And he's like, get away. My emotions are mine. And he's like, oh my God, you're an idiot. That's literally, I literally cannot change you. You are stuck being this piece of crap no matter what life path there is. So whatever, I'm done. So then we cut over to Carol and Hal. Hal's getting a diversion. Carol jumps into one of the jets and goes and crashes it into the giant Atlantean craft. And she pulls out at the last moment, and her internal monologue is like, oh, I'd do anything for my unit, my people. I love them. And so that message of love causes her to become a Star Sapphire again. She remembers how things are supposed to be. And the First Lantern's like, oh my God, how do you people keep doing this? I thought I had a pretty good track record, but then you guys just keep on doing this crap. All right, maybe this is just because you were around that White Lantern for so long. Whatever. Either way, I'm done with you. So Carol manages to get away, and the ship is seemingly just erased from existence because First Lantern set it back so, and he's like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and try out Red Lanterns now. So that's where we're going next, Red Lanterns. It's fine. It's a good enough issue. I really don't dislike anything about it, but it is exactly what the last one was as well, and exactly what all of these issues have been, which is just like, hey, but what if? The only thing that this one adds to it, and I enjoy, is the fact that the New Guardians all overcome the First Lantern, and he doesn't manage to finally, like, in the end, get that extra one-up where he's like, oh, but no, actually, I'm in control. It's, no, he's just losing. These people are so who they are that they cannot be changed by the First Lantern. And I don't know, I kind of like that. I think it's a good bit of characterization. So, yeah, I got to give this one a... The three different art styles all suited each other, though I got to say the St. Walker one was the weakest. But I'll give it like a 7 overall. It's a good read. It's a fine read. Nothing amazing, fantastic, blowing me away, but it's the next part of the event, and it is delivering what it intended to.